Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new league racing video. This is PSGL round number 3 around Suzuka, and today we're gonna try and extend our championship lead to Lucas Blakely. I had a great fight with him last week out in Silverstone. If you didn't watch that race, make sure to check it out as well, because it was an absolute banger of a race. And as you can see on the championship standings, right here, we are leading by 2 points to Lucas Blakely, 2 points to Brandon Lee,
actually,
and 2 points to Tom Manley, 5 points to Danny Bresnay. So, yeah, very close at the moment. Only done 2 rounds anyway. As you can see, the point system is different as well. You get 16 points for a win, 12 points for P2, 10 points for P3. So, here we go then. Out for our warm-up lap for our first push lap here in Q1. Obviously the usual installation lap on the full wet tires or on the intermediate tires. And yeah, this is probably one of the hardest tracks on the calendar to nail. Not a lot of runoff as well. You got some runoff in, I think this is called Spoon Curve. The left-hander that's coming up, but it's a double curb as well, and very easy to get an invalidation. And then on a lot of those entries there's grass, so yeah, if you have to use all the track available, but 1 millimeter too far preparing the corner and you're off. And you can see ghosting is still on. That's because the slipstream is so strong. As I've said in past videos, it would cause huge chaos if ghosting was disabled due to the slipstream. How strong it is. You can get slipstream from like 3 seconds back, and that obviously has a huge effect on your qualifying lap time. So here we go then. You can see we're driving on the middle of the track, and you're gonna see that a lot in this video. A lot of people swerving from left to right on straights, and that's because of the bumps. The bumps are so bad. Or maybe it's not the bumps, but it's something in the setup that we can change, like Packers or something. That's messed up. And yeah, if you hit a bump wrong, this is not just on Suzuka, but on a lot of other tracks, so you can instantly lose like half a tenth or a tenth. Now on a grid like this, a tenth can be the difference between P1 and P15. So yeah. Very important to avoid the bumps, but sometimes it feels like it's impossible. So, yeah, as I said early on, it's already hard enough to nail a lap here around Suzuka. Having to avoid those bumps makes it even harder. Because you can hear there, that was a huge bottom out, and it's half a ton gone. So, yeah. That's not ideal, but everyone has the same issue, so it equals out. But it's just unfortunate that you just about go out in Q1 or 2 by a few hundredths when you bottomed out and your opponent didn't. So yeah, I think it's something setup related. I don't think it's track model. It almost feels like the car has no Packers in the suspension, or whatever is going on. I'm not sure, but obviously we can't see some setup options that we cannot change because they are behind a lot of coding. So yeah, P6 it was in a single run. So we save a set of tires for Q3. We only get 5 new sets of tires in qualifying. 1 in Q3 and then 4 for Q1 and Q2. So here we are out in Q2. First push lap. We can do 2 laps because we've got the tires available, and up to the line we go fastest, 100 faster than Thomas Ronar, who was in P2, and that was great banker. Now you might be hearing a little bit of crackling noise. Sorry for that. I am with my engineers, as you guys might have heard and seen on social media. I've moved to Red Bull Racing for the F1 Esports series, and this is my first race together with Red Bull Racing. The crackling noise is getting really bad. Excuse me, but that's why I started the story. Yeah, it's just my game audio that I've selected, so my chat and my live stream can't hear the engineers to avoid sensitive info. However, it seems to be slightly bugged. It's a setting in Streamlabs. You can select to just select game capture audio, and it doesn't seem to be working great. Now, after Q2, I changed the setting in the game that seemed to help a lot. So Q3, this crackling noise is going to be gone, but for the race, it's going to be slightly back again. For some parts only though. So changing that setting seemed to have helped, and suddenly it's all gone. So yeah, back to my Red Bull story. I decided to move to Red Bull Oracle, Red Bull Sim Racing Esports. Those names are always really tough to get right. The same with Mercedes always.
Got labor 24 months.
Yeah, I'll get used to it. And yeah, that means Frederik Rasmussen, current F1 Esports World Champion, is going to be my teammate for this PSGL season, but also for the F1 Esports season. So yeah, we've got a great lineup, but at the same time, that doesn't mean anything. We still have to practice really hard.
Absolute honker.
And perform at our best in order to try and be the best. To try and be the F1 Esports World Champions again. So yeah, final running Q3 then. Back to the racing part. And enough with the waffling. I had a terrible banker lap in Q3. Slower than both of my Q2 laps. So time to clutch up here. We are 600s up as we go into the middle sector. And not a great first sector though, 31.4. You need to be aiming for like a tenth faster than that. But yeah, at least it's an improvement. A little bit wide in the hairpin though, and that was not ideal again. Halved and up, lost like a tenth probably to an ideal hairpin there, and again not a great lap so far. Master snap of oversteer. We managed to catch it, but that's probably another 10 gone. It's not been a great lap so far. And as we head into the final sector, Frederik Rasmussen, our teammate, goes to provisional pole position, and we're gonna have to pull off a magical final sector. I decided to absolutely send it because I knew I had nothing to lose, and we gained 10th. So that was good news. Up to the line we go. It is a 26.416, and that's basically the same lap time as we did in Q2, even though the track is a lot faster. So P7 it is in qualifying. Thomas Ronar on pole position, ahead of Frederik Rasmussen, Joris Kroesen P3, Tom Manley P4, Ruben Pedreño P5, Brendan Lee P6, ourselves in P7, Istvan Pukki P8, Julian Klavenbok P9, and I couldn't see who was P10. Actually, that's Lucas Blakely in P10, 2022 F1 Esports World Champion. Behind us in P10. Here we go then, into the race. We're going to be starting on the hard compound. Lots of different strategies, as you can see. A lot of media runners starting around us. So it's going to be a tough few opening laps for us, but it's going to be lights out. And away we go for round number 3 of the PSGL series on F1 24. And around the outside in turn 1 we go. Didn't quite have the front bite of those hard tires. Had to be careful here, because if you make contact in one of those S's, it's on this game it's gonna be game over. You're very likely to spin out or something, so I had to be careful there, especially against the medium runner. There's not really any point to be really aggressive when most likely Julian would have passed me anyway. But now we need to try and start defending, because there are a lot of medium runners behind, and we cannot have every medium runner have overtake us. Josh with a massive send down the inside, but we've got the outside and more momentum, and it's going to give us the advantage into Spoon Curve. Now, someone in the comments tell me if this is Spoon Curve or Degner 2. I feel like they're both. They are boats, I think so. I'm not sure. But yeah, Julian Klaffenbach, only 13 years old, by the way. Crazy, 13 years old and at the highest level of F1 esports. Now, this is obviously not F1 esports, but PSGL is basically the same drivers as F1 esports. And you can see he was trying to go for a move there. Left us a space in 130R. And now we get past him. It's gonna be close into turn 1. Might actually be 3 wide into turn 1. And yeah, chaos in this opening lap. But we managed to get a position back there in lap 2. Was a really chaotic opening lap. And now we are in lap 8 behind Ruben Pedreño. Now he's on the mediums. And those mediums are starting to struggle a little bit. Yeah, we're looking to go for a move here into the hairpin. You can see we've got a much better exit. We've got a huge snap of oversteer. And that nearly ended both me and Ruben's race. Did not expect that curb to be that vile. And yeah, I just got a huge snap of oversteer. Luckily, we both got away unscathed without any contact. And yeah, really close one there. And now we're behind Brendan Lee. I think he started 1 or 2 positions ahead of us. So yeah, Istvan Pukki didn't manage to overtake him. Istvan with a fast lap at the moment as well. And yeah, he's on a different strategy than us. You can see a lot of people on the mediums ahead of us. It seems like Brendan Lee and Thomas Ron are the only ones on the mediums. Now we just stay behind Brendan for a little bit because we can try and overtake, but yeah, those mediums are gonna box eventually, and that means it's gonna be me, Brendan, and Thomas on the hards. And it doesn't really matter what the order is now. It's just gonna matter when we start boxing. So yeah, not really any point to take any risk and fight this hard, because yeah, we're on the same strategy. We need to kind of work together a little bit at this point. Almost, and just not trip over each other. And at the end of lap 10 you can see Istvan Pukki boxing and more people boxing actually. I think some people already boxed at the end of lap 9, so that's quite early, but this is a track where the hards last very, very long. So it is possible to go really long on the hards. Frederik Rasmussen boxing as well from the lead of the race. And now, as I said before, it's me, Brendan and Thomas in P1, 2, 3. Lucas Blakely behind us in P4. And then there's a huge gap to Jake in P5. Lucas boxing at the end of lap 14 though. And now I'm gonna go in the attack on Thomas Ronhaar. Into turn 1. We go around the outside of Thomas and Brendan into turn 1, 2. And unfortunately I just tapped the back of Brendan, and that luckily only unsettled my car. Luckily no damage. Because yeah, in real life Brendan most likely would be around or have some huge floor damage. So a little injury on her shoulder there. Huge snap of oversteer, but didn't hurt us too much. You can see the backhand sliding around. Here at the end of lap 16, tires are starting to struggle. And I'm planning to box at the end of lap 17. So we go on the attack again into turn 1. Huge slipstream and DRS. Around the outside we go up to P2. And now we are in a prime position. So we're going to be boxing at the end of this one. Onto the set of the mediums. And then we can go on the charge. 10 laps. 10 qualifying laps to the end of the race on the mediums. I'm expecting Brendan and Thomas, or at least one of them, to box
at the end of this lap, please.
This lap as well. You can see the crackling, or you can hear the crackling noise. It's back actually a little bit, so apologies for that. I'll try and see what I can do to fix it, but yeah, I'm sure there's a way. If anyone has any idea what this crackling noise is or why it's caused with game audio capture in Streamlabs, then let me know in the comments, because I will read them. So into the box we go. Of course, purple pit stop, 2.2 seconds, and out we go. A little bit of a slow pit entry though, so might have lost a little bit of time to Brendan, but if you speed into the pit lane, it's a 10-second penalty this year, which is a little bit crazy in my opinion. especially if it's by like 1 kilometer. So yeah, just need to make sure to really be safe. And yeah, as you can see, we lost a little bit of time to Brendan, like 3, 4, 5 tenths. But yeah, that's okay. Just took it safe, and we're still in the DRS of Brendan. So we've got the opportunity to still come back and pass him later on this race. But he's straight away going for it, overtaking in Dagner 1. That's a little bit optimistic. Yeah, but it worked out, so he was cooking. And now you can see Ruben on old hards. Huge snap of oversteer, and now we're gonna go for the move into Dagner 2. If it's called Dagner 2, I'm just gonna keep calling it Dagner 2.
Why on earth is this guy fighting us?
Unfortunately, we got squeezed off the track onto the grass there, which sent us wide. Yeah, I wasn't really happy with that, as you could hear. Actually, you couldn't hear because I muted it to be Peggy 3. So yeah, not sure why
of course.
Why Ruben fought it so hard, because yeah, he would have gotten DRS now on this straight, and now he doesn't, so he's just gonna end up losing a whole lot more time. But yeah, doesn't matter too much for a race. You can see that Thomas coming out around 1.5 seconds behind us, so yeah, we definitely lost a little bit of time with that, but yeah, we can come back from that. You can see the medium hard train is not too far ahead of us, and that means me, Thomas and Brendan had great pace on those in laps, or on those overcut laps. I was thinking about a little move on Julian into Dagner 1 because I saw Brendan do it, but yeah, not really worth it when there's a huge overtaking opportunity just 2 corners later. Josh with a huge slide there on the exit. We're gonna go into the hairpin. Julian actually has some front wing damage there on the front left end plate. So yeah, his race is massively compromised by that. But nonetheless, he's at I think this is his debut in PSGL T1, and he made it to Q3, and he's running in the top 10 at the moment. So that's already a huge achievement in my opinion. Now, lap 19, we're behind Josh again. He was behind us for the whole first stint, and now we're gonna go for the move on the main straight, of course. I was thinking about a move into Dagner 1, but looks like Josh defended that, or at least used quite a bit of battery to defend it. So I was like, you know what, we just recharge the battery and go for it right here, right now. Set a personal best 29.3 with 2 overtakes. Not aiming for the fast lap here, to be honest. Just aiming to try and get to the front of the race. End of lap 20, and you can see we are behind the next person, Joris Cruzen. Let's not forget, these tires are only 3 laps old, and these guys have been on 10 lap old hards. Across the line we go. We set a fast lap for a brief moment, but it gets taken away behind from Thomas. Into turn 1 we go. Down the inside of Joris Cruzen, and then into turn 3 we get squeezed onto the grass again. Again, I didn't seem too happy about it. I'm always quite on the edge when I'm driving live. When I'm commentating after, I don't care too much anymore. Yeah, it wasn't gonna work around the outside there anyway. So yeah, should have backed out earlier anyway. But now we got a great overtaking opportunity into the hairpin. Down the inside we go, and we managed to get it slowed down brilliantly. We leave Joris de Space on the exit, and you can see how close we are to the next right-hander. And now we're behind Tom Manley in P6. And you can see we still have so much more grip. This is not going to be a huge contest. I think Tom boxed at the end of lap 9, maybe 10. So yeah, it's 11 or 12 lap all tires at the end of this lap versus 4 lap all tires, and yeah, it's just gonna be a matter of time before we get past here. We're gonna turn on the overtake button and go down the inside on the main straight. We're gonna be completely past by the time we get to turn 1. We can go back to the racing line, and now we're behind Istvan Pukki. Brendan Lee in P3, or actually P4, but it's a net P3 because there's still one person out on track for some reason on the hards. I'm not sure why, because I think safety car is disabled these days in PSGL. So it's not really worth to go for this really long hard stints anymore because, yeah, there's not going to be a safety car anyway at that point. So Brendan tried to go for it again into Dagger 1. Quite optimistic, I'm not gonna lie, but he managed to pull it off before, and now into the hairpin. You can see there's a front wing flying around, and it's getting a little bit argy-bargy. We've got Thomas around the outside, so we need to leave him the space. Yeah, we got boxed in a little bit in the hairpin, as Brendan, I think, is the one with front wing damage, so we have to be careful a little bit of him. He leaves us the space nicely, though, in Dagner.
Oh my god.
2, and Thomas goes off the track, bottomed out on the curb, and now we're back behind Istvan Pukki and managed to overtake Brendan, who's got front wing damage. So
Yeah, he's got wing damage, he's gone. Don't worry about him.
And now we're into a net P4 on 5 lap old mediums, so we're still gonna have a huge tire advantage. Now remember, Lucas is leading, but he boxed 3 laps earlier, and the tire wear around Suzuka is quite high because of all those fast corners. It tends to eat away the tires, and now lap 23 we're gonna send it down the inside at the hairpin.
Like moving on the braking.
And up to P3 we go. I'm not sure if we actually touched there, but it was definitely close. I don't think we did, maybe we did. I went back to look at Istvan's stream, and Istvan didn't notice anything, so I think we didn't hit. Maybe we did slightly, but up to P3 we go. Istvan going for a little move again. However, we've got the slipstream into
Yeah, let's pass this lap.
the final corner, and you can hear me tell Freddy, let's pass this lap into turn 1. Let's go for the double move and take 1-2 here, and then we can work together from there. But you can see I didn't quite have the battery
I don't have enough ERS.
to go for the move into turn 1. I was thinking about it here, but
Oh my god.
yeah, it would have been too risky.
Sorry.
So I bottled that a little bit, but it's okay because Lucas on the older mediums. And now into Dagner 1, Dagner 2, we're gonna go for it again around the outside. Lucas leaves us the space. Did not push us onto the grass, and I decided to back out of that. And you know what? I can get him at some point at a different place on track for sure. So just gonna set this up for the main straight. You can see Tico Hardy is still out on track. I think he's gonna box at the end of this lap for a set of softs probably to get
15.
the fast lap. And you can hear me ask the ERS of Lucas 15% only, and that means this was gonna be an easy pass into turn 1 up to P2 and behind our new teammate Freddy Rasmussen going into the final lap. Now his hearts are quite old, boxed at the end of lap 12 of course, but as I said the tire wear is high, so that means the softer compound suffers a lot more as well. So by the time we get to this final lap, the tires are going to be quite equal actually. And I think that's why Lucas also started to drop off a little bit here in these final few laps, because of the mediums.
Lucas just used a lot.
We're really starting to hurt now. As you can hear me say, Lucas used a lot, because I was thinking about maybe leaving a bit of a gap so we can secure the 1-2.
Who crashed? Thomas.
And yeah, behind us Thomas went spinning into the hairpin, trying to overtake Istvan, I think so. So yeah, he dropped quite a few positions there. And now we're gonna go into the final DRS zone of this race. You can see the slipstream effect we are having into the final corner. This is huge how much we're gaining. We don't have
a lot for sure.
We don't have to do anything for this. And yeah, I didn't leave a gap because I knew we were gonna be safe from Lucas on those older tires. He was low on ERS as well. And now we're gonna go for the move into turn 1 on our teammate Freddy Rasmussen, and we're gonna be completely passed into turn 1 with the help of DRS and slipstream, of course. It's so powerful in this game. And now we need to try and pull a bit of a gap up. That's easier said than done, of course, because as I said before, the tires are starting to equal out The softer the compound, the more tire wear, of course. And even though our tires are 10 laps old and Freddy's are 15, those hards are much more durable. So, yeah. Here in this final lap, trying to recharge our battery a little bit for that final run up to the chicane. As you could see in the previous lap, the slipstream is huge. So, trying to protect ourselves from that and pushing as hard as possible through the corners to leave as big of a gap as possible. So we can be safe into the final chicane, but the question is, will we be safe into the final chicane? We are gonna turn on the overtake button on the exit here and try to defend from our teammate Freddy Rasmussen into the final chicane. You can see in the top left how much he's gaining. He's gonna be on our gearbox into the final chicane. Just leaving the door open a little bit. I didn't want to take any risk in case Freddy was gonna send it. I just want to secure the 1-2 on my first race with Red Bull, and we did it. A 1-2 on my debut with Red Bull. Couldn't wish for a better start, of course. Great race, stayed out of trouble. A very, very tricky track, of course, to stay out of trouble. Not an easy track to overtake, but we made it work. P7 to P1. Great race, great strategy, great start to my journey with Red Bull Racing. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe. We extend the championship lead by 6 points. So we've got an 8-point lead to Lucas Blakely now. Not much, of course. It's only half a race win. As the race win is 16 points, of course, in PSGL. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe. Make sure to check out my merchandise on jarnoalmeer.com. And see you guys next time. Ciao.